Last year when I was cruising through the web, I happened to be on that side of YouTube where there was this actress getting a lot of attention, shall we say. Hate. Hate is the right word here, hate. And she is none other than Halle Bailey. Oh, wrong one. I meant to say Jennifer. Oh, no, not her. Oh, no, that was a while ago. Aha, here we go. Rachel Zegler. Now I noticed that the onslaught was particularly harsh towards her because of a couple of her bad interviews. So I went to check out why she's so problematic. And I watched some of the Rachel bad video essays. And I saw those 2 clips in particular. And you know what? I took that side of YouTube to their word. I figured, okay, maybe they're right. They were saying she appeared very condescending towards the story, towards Snow White. She could have sounded more grateful, or anyone who is in her shoes would have been so much more grateful and more appreciative. Maybe she shouldn't have insulted the story. Maybe she shouldn't have called it weird. Anyway, I didn't think too much into it. So I moved on after a bit to the next topic. BuzzFeed puppy interviews. Aw, so sweet. Anyway, I found out through my algorithm that even though I had moved on to the next topic, YouTube still had not. And every day a new Rachel video would come out. A Rachel bad video, that is. That was last year. It's 2025 and the hate train still be chugging, dragging her choice of words, her personality, and even questioning her talent and whether or not she should even be in the industry. So I went back to do a little more research this time, refresh my memory, see what happened, why, what exactly did she do to piss people off? Maybe I missed something. Actually, one of my favorite Instagram accounts, Joe Ando, had done a really cute dress collab with her, and even there in the comment section of that niche Instagram page, there were hate comments. And that's when I realized it's not even just confined to that side of YouTube anymore. It's pretty much all over. So I went and watched a few more Rachel Zegler videos, and then I watched many more, and then I watched many more, and then I watched many more Rachel Zegler videos. And then I understood. I figured something out, and I have come to the conclusion. Wow, what a talent. What a talent. And you guys have all been sleeping on this talent. Shame on you. Hibernating so hard. Let me show you, let me try and convince you what a brilliant talent she is. Okay? By the end of this video, I will hopefully convince you what a brilliant talent she is and what Hollywood has in their hands. Forget about what she said. Hopefully you'll be convinced that not only does she deserve a Disney princess movie all to herself, but also even the Snow White film. But that point I'll save for later. For now, let's just start with... Okay, if you think Rachel isn't that talented, no. Let me just show you her voice. She's got mad skills for her age. I came across some of her older videos of her as a teenager, and as a singer and musician myself, I know exactly what is required to reach that level of performance, vocal maturity, and then just really good singing at her age. Like, for example, she has a killer vibrato, very powerful voice, and more astonishingly, her voice has got character. And trust me, when I was that age, I sounded like a shriveled up walnut. Okay, I wasn't that bad, but trust me, it's not that common to have that level of talent at the age that she was, or even that level of skill. When it comes to performance, vocal quality, body language, stage presence, she was already professional by a very young age in a way that's not common. And I know that she's, a theatre kid and all, but to have all that in place at such a young age, that's talent that needs to be recognized. And recognized it was, as she literally bagged the lead role in a Steven Spielberg movie. Steven Spielberg. By the way, West Side Story is a great watch. She was also really good in the Hunger Games film. And you know what? I will say, after watching all those Rachel Zegler videos, I will definitely say she is deserving of her own Disney princess film ASAP. But one that has a lot of singing. And one that's not going to be bad. Maybe it'll be good, I don't know. Who knows? And you know what? Come to think of it, she even has that typical Disney princess look, You know what I mean? Like Anya Taylor-Joy or Halle Bailey. She has those gorgeous wide set eyes and that look. I can't describe that look, but she has that look. Now, which Disney princess could she play? Now I would say this is probably why the crowd is so angry at Rachel's casting as Snow White. Because she is not white. She's Latina. She's not Irish or German or Nordic heritage or anything like that. She's as brown as me. And maybe coupled with those clips where she appeared ungrateful, maybe it's not quite the role for her. Except here is my argument. Okay, so do we really need to stick to the original? We already have one fair-skinned Snow Whiter than white. And before you click out, the story goes, Snow White has skin as white as snow and lips redder than blood. The evil queen becomes jealous of her after her magic mush. Mirror tells her that she, the evil queen, is not the fairest of them all. Snow White is. Fair here meaning her skin is very, very, very white. Yeah, okay, fine. I got that. So this is just my opinion, okay? It's just an opinion. But isn't it time we sort of, update this story a little bit? The story is I would say Rachel is right in that the story is a little bit dated. It's sort of focusing on her looks, her fair skin, her whiteness, instead of her inner qualities, which are more important to the story. Because this idea of, fair meaning white skin as white as snow or whatever, it's a little archaic in my thinking. This is my thinking. Because first of all, her skin tone or even her features don't really tie into the plot directly. Like how, Rapunzel's hair is very important to the story. In the previous iteration and in the Tangled iteration, her hair is very important. It doesn't have to be blonde, but to the story, the length of her hair does serve as a crucial plot point. Or even metaphorically, like Elsa, and her ice platinum sort of a look. But here's what is important and a turning point in the plot. It is the stepmother's jealousy. The mirror tells the stepmom that she is not as fair as Snow White, right? And I wanted to focus on the word fair here. The word fair is very cleverly used as a sort of, pun, double entendre, meaning fair as in beautiful and fair as in white. Now, there is a third meaning that does unfold within the story, where fair equals just, but in the context of who is more fit to rule the kingdom, doesn't fair equals just make more sense? And in my prediction, or at least hope, is that Disney has already written it this way. I mean, it is right there in front of you. It would be an interesting take that puts less focus on the external qualities and more, in a practical sense, goes for her internal qualities, because that is more important to what it takes to rule a kingdom, right? And it also makes sense to focus less on the love story, because I was thinking about the love story angle, and I don't think the love story is too necessary to the plot as well, just the ending. But also you can sort of reframe the ending. Does make sense if she has met him once or twice, has probably fallen in love, and then ends up waking up to his kiss. That's just my thinking. I feel that this is the direction that Disney has taken. It does make sense. And also, we already have the original if you want to stick to that whole fair equals white. And as for the name, that's kind of easily explainable, right? Maybe she was born during the winter time, or maybe her mom really likes winter and snow. Maybe her surname is White, and because she likes snow, she was named Snow. Or maybe it's just her pet name because she loves playing in the snow as a toddler. Or maybe she was born in the snow. Okay, that would be too much. But there are people named Winter and Autumn. Is it because they are white or orange or blue in color? No, it's probably because they were born during winter or autumn. I think the name is a little more easily explainable. Now the question is the previous iteration of Disney's Snow White, does it age well? I personally don't think it fully ages well. It's not the most empowering story if you look at it as a whole. And I think to change it for the 2025 version is an only fair ask, if you ask me. And when I say empowering, I mean it only in the sense of what is the take-home message of the story? What are kids going to take home from it? What are little girls going to take home at the end of the day? That message, Maybe in another video I'll talk about in general Disney princess films and each of their take-home messages for young girls. Okay, now let me address Okay, there's really nothing much to say here. She's a young, confident, feisty girl, quick for comebacks, emphasis on the young. And what she said in the interview is really not that bad. I think a little more leeway and room for imperfection would be great from the audience's side. And also, this particular clip, I think she's just slagging her friend off. She's being candid, that's all. And, not quote-unquote media trained, as people were saying in many comment sections. By the way, the idea of media training itself is a little bit absurd, don't you think? Like, personally, I don't really like watching interviews where actors are being media trained into, churning out scripted talking points or whatever. I mean, maybe that's a topic for another day. I don't think that those interviews really make her look that bad. I think it's just people were angry that she was cast as a non-white person into a white role. I think that's where the real anger comes from. Because even Halle Bailey and a lot of women of color have gotten that sort of backlash without even doing anything. This was just an excuse for people to come and berate her. But I don't think that these interviews really show her in a bad light. Also, when you're a teenager, it's like that's the age when you're like at your most loud with your talking points. Teenagers have a very low filter. I mean, isn't this just the way teenagers speak? They don't really have like a filter of sorts. They're just like, they're very bold with what they're saying, I think it's just one of those things. And also, I believe that if you criticize someone at that young age, I think it's just, it's going to be everlasting damage. I don't think you can really come out of that. Anyway, I think she was not as bad as people were saying. I mean, if I took a look at that clip without any context, without knowing who she was, I wouldn't have really thought that she was saying something mean or if she was being ungrateful. That's not what stands out to me. I will say this, whether or not Snow White will be a good film or not, I don't really have any expectations on that front, but I will say I was really blown away by Waiting on a Wish. The song was quite nice actually, and of course Rachel Zegler sang it very well. She has like a very operatic quality to her voice, which I don't think many people appreciate as of yet. In fact, I think she might be too good for this film. I think she deserves a film where there's a lot more singing, like how there was in Wicked, where there's a lot more ways to play with your vocals. I don't know whether Snow White will offer her that. I think West Side Story did offer her that a little bit, but not sure about Snow White. And after seeing a few clips of her in the Broadway's Romeo and Juliet, wow, I'm just blown away. She's such a good actor, I would kill to have this kind of talent in India. she would single-handedly save all our Nepo baby problems. Anyway, I hope that has convinced you at least a little bit to give her a second chance. Maybe go watch the film. I don't know. You do whatever you want. Or at the very least, convinced you to be my friend. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below, and will you go watch Snow White when it comes out? I personally don't like the horror genre, and I don't think my heart can take 9 CGI abominations at once. But I'll therefore give it a watch for Rachel. That's it for the video. Bye bye.